What is going on, YouTube? So, as you can tell, I have 3 sketchbooks in front of me that I want to share with you guys. And before I even get into this video, I just want to mention that this is on a different camera. As you can see, there's no little speck of dust, so everyone say thank you to me. But we'll just get into this. This middle school is from This sketchbook is from middle school. It was a really rough time. I'm not even gonna lie. I choose to forget about those years. But you know, during all that time that I wasn't talking to people, I was just drawing all the time. I mainly use sketchbooks to plan out paintings that I would do later. Like, this is a colored pencil drawing that I would eventually get to. Again, here. I was really into surrealism, and I was trying to be different. So here you can see me being pretentious. Thinkers. I've begun to think that we're here for the sole purpose of thought without words. And you can see how deep it is, because there's like prison bars between people and they're trying to communicate with the words, but they can't. You know, just more weird stuff. I really didn't have like any structure to these sketchbooks at all. Here's me planning out my first Instagram account. These are all the names that I wanted, but they were all taken. Oh, I also use this sketchbook as like sort of a journal. It bothers me that MLK also had these days. Filler days. The ones where it feels like time is... You know what? That one's... I felt that one. But yeah, just me being like an edgy middle schooler, and I tried so hard not to look edgy. Here's me doing some sketches for colored pencil drawings that I would do later. And you know, this is before I figured out that you could use, you know, both sides of the sketchbook. So yeah, this one's pretty uninteresting. I think I'm just gonna flip through these pages real quick. Leon. Yeah, as you can see, I've always been a big stan of Carly Rae Jepsen. And yeah, this one's pretty boring. I go back a lot to these drawings, so maybe you saw it earlier, but I have a lot of drawings that came from years later, where I would like take old ideas and then reinterpret them. You can see I turned her into a vampire. So yeah, that's about it for that one. Oh my god. That takes us into this sketchbook. This one is from like the transition to 7th grade to 8th grade, I think. God bless my parents, because they got the sketchbook, which is honestly way too expensive for the shitty art that I was putting in at the time. I don't even know. You know, I was getting better at practicing faces. You can tell what was with a reference and what wasn't with a reference though, because look at... I actually don't hate a lot of these drawings that I'm, you know, kind of making fun of in these. It's just, I know I could do a lot better. Here, it's just like a sketch dump, I guess. You can see I got my markers for the first time. Oh my god. This is the whole story. So basically the story is that in 7th grade, that was when I was getting bullied during lunch. I would just sit at my table and draw, and eventually I got to sit with these 8th graders, and they would just let me draw and kind of defend me from these kids that were just being little pieces of shit. And one day I was just drawing like Adele, the album cover from 25, and I don't know why, but everyone started paying attention to what I was drawing. And so eventually there was just like a giant flock of people surrounding my table, taking pictures with them on Snapchat and sending it to their friends. So I guess that's when my name became known. I was my own publicist for a bit, I guess. This is a thing that I was doing during the summer between 7th and 8th grade. 30 days, or what's it called? My daily June drawings. So day 1, day 2. This is a dodgy subject. But like, I think I even had videos of me doing these on my old channel. And so I posted them every single day, just like a bunch of shitty time lapses with boring ass music in the background. Imagine how tired we are. God, it's hard flipping these sketchbooks with one hand. I remember on my Instagram, there was somebody that said, if this was a print, I would buy it in like a second. Now I'm looking at it, I'm like, girl, what? And yeah, that's the end of that one. So that takes us into my favorite, oh my god. Oh fuck, this phone's dying. Anyway, let's just get into this one. So this one is when I started getting really into actual sketchbooking. So I wanted to like fill out every page and like make every page look really pretty. Look at these girls and tell me that they don't look exactly the same. So, you know, I was just going crazy with writing words and like little things all around. What I used to do is I used to leave sketches that I knew I wasn't able to execute at the time, and then I would let older me in the future, use them for like other drawings and paintings. So really a lot of this stuff didn't end up being used until like years later. Here you can see I was starting to use like the scribble technique. I don't know if that's the name of it, But basically you just draw a bunch of scribbles and then find something in it. It's something that like the surrealists used to use, and I was like, oh my god, I want to be like surrealist senpai. Let me do whatever they're doing. Me trying to practice more of my proportions. She really looks like Kim Kardashian. Yeah, I don't know. You can see like a bunch of these reoccurring motifs of like me cutting the head open, these crescent moons. Sorry if you can hear background noise, my sister is right next to me. Ciao, anyways. I used to be really obsessed with calligraphy and just the way that like fancy words looked, so I would just draw random words out. Maybe I've always been more comfortable in chaos. Thank you, Florence, for those insightful words. This is where I can actually pinpoint the beginning of me trying to become like an animator. I didn't even know, I just wanted to create a character in a story. So, you know, she was this girl and she lived in a village and she had a leaf on her head. She'll come back later. Oh, this was a sketch that I did of my friend in 8th grade. This is a preliminary sketch for an oil painting that I eventually did. That was like the biggest that I did at the time. It was only like 8 by 12, 8 by 10 or something. I was real proud of it. I'll have to show my old oil. Why am I Laura-Lee? I'll have to show my old oil paintings eventually. You can see me just trying to fill out literally every single bit of the page with like weird shit. Wowzers! This is actually like one of my favorite pages in here, I think, because it's just aesthetically pleasing. This shark was a funny story because my friend was in art class with me and he was like, I don't really know how to draw a shark. Can you draw one for me? And I was like, oh, sure. And so he looked up a picture of a shark for me to draw. He like saw me draw this and it was done and he was like, you know what? Never mind. I don't know. I just crave validation, guys. Oh, here's my first ever like storyboard, I guess. It was basically just like a cheesy ass story about like a girl with powers. And from here on you can see nudity. I'm so sorry. I was just trying to practice like actual anatomy. But funny thing is that when I was in 8th grade, I got in trouble for doing these nude drawings because I was sitting at lunch with my friend and the superintendent or something was looking over my shoulder while I was drawing, and I was just flipping through the sketchbook while I was drawing. And he saw these new drawings and he pulled me to the side and he was like, you can't draw that at school. And then him and like a teacher started laughing. You know what? You know what? It's painful memories. Me trying to figure stuff out. And you can see me kind of like bringing together my color palette so that my pages looked more cohesive. So yeah, more of me trying to make my stuff look aesthetic. Notes to myself of figure drawings. 5-minute figure drawings and they looked this bad. More storyboarding. This is actually one of my favorite pages in here too. It's really aesthetically pleasing to the eye. I used to be obsessed with Joanna Newsom. I still am, but like she used to be the only artist that I really used to listen to. And so I would take like random words from her song lyrics and just make them pretty, I guess, which honestly kind of defeats the purpose of her using those words in the songs. Some song lyrics from Peach Plum Pear. I remember I was drawing this next to my friend, the friend that I was with when I got in trouble. She looked at me dead in the eye and she was like, I like that bird that you're drawing. This is a comic that I had to do in social studies and it's like kind of funny, I guess, but the fact that it uses this meme from literally 3 years ago kills me. I feel like I actually started to get more comfortable with like what I was trying to do. So you can see my goals, and I literally wrote the word filler. If that's not telling, I don't know what is. I only did this twice in here, but I like how when I did these little acrylic thumbnails, I left the palette like right next to it. Again, I did that here. This is Shane Dawson. We do not speak of him in this household. And this is where I started the second daily June drawing thing. So this was the transition from 8th grade to freshman year, which is actually kind of crazy now that I think about it. But yeah, I was just really obsessed with seeing improvement. So you can see like recurring themes and ideas that I would just flesh out more. Like this is, I know, is from my first time doing the daily June drawing thing. Some thumbnails. This, which is interesting because I didn't end up actually doing something like this in this style until like years later. I had a really bad headache this day, I think. This is such a sad page. But I don't think I did any videos or anything for these. I think I just posted them on Instagram. This is like the peak of my Instagram fame. Like I was at like 700 followers, and then I kind of just dropped the ball because, or I did it on purpose because, I don't know, I was starting to fall out of love with Instagram itself, and I don't know. Social media it was kind of a bad idea for me to get into social media so young, even though I knew what I wanted to do, because it consumed my thoughts. I was like, how am I gonna get these likes on this video rather than me caring about what I was putting in the video? Which is where old me and new me differ. Now, all I really care about is like making the videos because I actually enjoy making them. You can see me putting in the work. So yeah, that's my sketchbooks. If you want to see more, I definitely have more sketchbooks that I want to get through. We can get to that another day. So if you like this video, put a like down below, comment so you can get my engagement up and we can do this YouTube thing together. Subscribe if you want to, I don't really care. That'll be all. Thank you so much for watching my video, and goodbye.